You know, I think every student wants a classroom that they love to learn in. And so a lot of the schools are beginning with community building as a way to connect the students to the school, to their classroom, to their teacher. And how about also to the teams that they're in? So in my classroom, students are in collaborative groups, maybe in groups of 4, perhaps 5. And so what are ways that I can help them connect with one another? And so one of my first assignments was actually having them create a team poster. This team poster would be including things, 8 things in fact, in which they have in common with each other. So oftentimes as students are coming in, even beginning on a task like this can be daunting. And so, I give them some support.
What are some common hobbies? What are some music that they enjoy in common? What are some common interests that they have? Perhaps favorite foods or family traditions. And this is a fun one, candy, desserts, movies, whatever it is that they want to find some commonality in, some low effect items so that students can very easily talk about whatever it is that they're interested in and what they have in common with each other to create that bonding.
So I pretty much just give them a task. Just create a team poster. On that poster, it needs to include your table number and your team name, and include at least 8 items that you have in common with each other. You can use pictures with labels, and then at the very end, we'll have each team take a picture next to their poster, and then they'll email it to their team members. And actually, we're gonna maybe include this in a part of their story later. Oftentimes with students, what I'll do is I'll give them a task or a goal, and I'll say, and then I'll put it into a driving question, like how do we collaborate together to create a team poster that has 8 things we have in common? And then what the students do is they pair share and discuss what the steps are gonna be. And then in a whole group, I hear their thoughts and write down steps that they think would be helpful to accomplish the driving question. So it could be I could have done this very easily, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and sometimes I do that. But sometimes I like it when students are the ones that are putting the steps together, because I want them to know how to problem solve. If they have a question, and now in this case we're creating a team poster, but if they had a question like, how do I get a scholarship, or how do I get into college, or how do I interview for a job, I want them to know the process is very similar. You might just get some like-minded folks or by yourself, and then problem solve and create steps in order to accomplish that goal. You can also see that fist of 5 on the right. And the 5 is I completely understand, 4 is I mostly understand, and then that 0 is I don't understand at all. Oftentimes before I launch them, I'll ask them to tell me and just show me their fist of 5 of understanding. And I say, hey, if there was another class coming in, then that would be a 5, and you'd be able to explain it to them well. And then a 0 would be just really confused about the instructions, would not know what to do if I were to say go. In addition to me being able to check in with the student really quickly, I think it also helps the student feel like, oh wow, my teacher cares about me, that he's interested in if I understand what to do or not. And so I find it helpful before I launch students off. So I hope you're having a great start to the school year, an amazing start, building teams in your classroom, building family. It begins with maybe some things that we have in common and having conversations with one another on items that may not pertain directly to our content area, but this kind of foundation of connecting with one another and the skills that they're developing oftentimes builds a foundation for future work. And I know it will, helping kids to find out what they're good at so that they can do good with it.